On Graham Smith's Surrey debut, it was his international teammate Alvaro Peterson who made the headlines with a brilliant 100 on his Somerset debut on the first day of the LV County Championship match at the Kia Oval. Smith was outdone by Marcus Trescothick at the toss, with Somerset choosing to bat only to lose Nick Compton before he'd scored. Trescothick then settled things down. But he too was out just into the second hour. Surrey's decision to play two spinners looking to be a good one, as Trescothick fell leg before to Gareth Batty for 25 at 58 for 2. Peterson, who struck a double 100 on this ground as a Glamorgan player a couple of years ago, wasted no time in going after Batty, while James Hildreth made the most of anything wayward from Jade Dernbach, who was, in matter of fact, the pick of the Surrey attack. Hildreth played freely as his side had the better of the morning session in spite of losing their two opening batsmen as they looked to put their opening match defeat to Durham well behind them. The afternoon session started well for Smith and his team as Hildreth, on a smart 34, was bowled off the inside edge by the impressive Dernbach to leave Somerset on 117 for 3. Dernbach then thought he'd trapped Craig Keyswetter in front first ball, but he possibly got some bat on this to save him. Peterson, who missed out on the run fest for South Africa at the Oval last summer, now eased his way to a half-century off 87 balls, getting to the mark by planting Surrey debutant Gary Keady back over his head. Surrey had chosen Keady ahead of the likes of Chris Tremlett and John Lewis, which meant that there was plenty of work with the ball for both Xander de Brain and Stuart Meeker. The latter was definitely not at his best, which allowed Keyswetter to get moving after a sluggish start from the keeper. Peterson was certainly not that. He played some delightful strokes in his very impressive innings. How Somerset could have done with him for their low-scoring affair at Durham last week, but for now they were just happy to have someone of such talents in their team. While the majority of the rest of his team made a start, the South African was the only one who went on, and at times he made the art of batting look remarkably easy. His debut ton arrived off his 141st delivery, and it came courtesy of his 13th boundary as Batty dropped in too short. It was a splendid innings, and one which was now putting Somerset in control. Peterson's shot selection timing was exemplary, and he now added a maximum to his ever-growing list of boundaries. There was a sense of irony that, on what was to be his South African opening partner's big day, it was in fact Peterson who would grab all the plaudits. His partnership with Keyswetter was worth 143, with the latter playing well within himself before he was defeated in the flight by Batty and stumped for 43 at 260 for 4. Keyswetter was another man to get in but not fully go on. The only man to do that, of course, was the perfect Peterson, who continued to advance, moving to an outstanding 150 with his 17th 4 from his 220th delivery. There can be few who've made such an impressive debut for the county. It really was a sensational knock. He did lose Joss Butler at the other end next ball, as Dernbach struck with the first delivery with the second new cherry, the ball swinging a long way back in to bowl Butler. Even better for the dangerous Dernbach was that next ball he moved one a fraction the other way to have Peter Tree go out for a golden duck for the second time in 3 innings, Vikram Solanki taking the catch. Dernbach's hat-trick ball to Alfonso Thomas was another very good one, but this time the batsman was not persuaded to play. Thomas and Peterson then prevented any more damage with the new ball, and Peterson looked set to see out the day. But with only 4 overs of it left, he played a crosser delivery from De Brain and was LBW for a scintillating 167, which had occupied 5 1/4 hours. And that wicket helped Surrey to finish on a high, as Meeker ended an indifferent day for him by bowling Jamie Overton for 8. Thomas and George Dockrell saw out the last 15 minutes to go to the close on 344 for 8 on a day dominated by Peterson. Now all eyes will be on his international teammate to see if he can follow suit.